What up, players? Wood burner's going good. Um, Productive-ish day. I have no idea what I'm doing with the record still. Ooh, there we go. But the wood burner, I kind of just kept the fire going today. Because lately it's been like in the teens and low 20s and stuff. But today, usually when I wake up, it's like low 60s, high 50s in the house. So, I mean, you guys know, I wake up, get the fire started, get it warmed up. Throughout the day, we're awake and we can keep the fire fed, you know. I mean, it usually lasts for, I mean, if I start a fire in there, like completely fill it with like, you know, logs and stuff, I mean, it'll burn all day. So, you know, if I do that like 6 a.m. by like 11 at night, there's like maybe a little bit of coals, depending on the wood and stuff like that. But, you know, that metal box gets hot and it just radiates heat. But the problem is like our house isn't insulated. Our windows they need replaced really bad. Every morning we wake up, there's a ton of moisture on them on the inside, you know. Dang it. There we go. But today I woke up and it was like kind of warm. Usually I'm like, ugh. I'll wake up and it's cold, and sometimes my blanket shifts. So I'll like readjust, and I have a little space heater with a remote, so I'll like turn it on. I'll check the time on my phone, and usually just lay there for a few extra minutes until I can just get out and go start the fire in the morning. But today I woke up and it was oddly warm. So laid there for a second, got up, checked the thermostat, and it said it was 66. I was like, nice. And then I checked the temperature outside. It was 34. I was like, whoa. It's like a heat wave. But it's supposed to get back down to the teens again tomorrow, apparently. So, yeah. But I kind of kept the fire going today. I just throw like a log or two on. And then all the, when I split the wood, you end up getting a bunch of little shards of wood and bark and stuff like that. The bark like will flake off. So I'll put it in buckets and we'll use it for kindling like in the fall and spring. And I'll usually just fill up like 2 buckets. That's usually more than enough. But this year I wasn't sure, you know, I was saving everything. Like if we were throwing it away and it was burnable, or like we didn't need it anymore, like we were going to get rid of it and it was burnable, I was keeping it. And that's what I did. But I had a whole bucket that I almost put the entire bucket of just like wood chips and stuff in the wood burner today. So, because like I said, I usually have 2, but I had, I think like 4 or 5, like 5-gallon buckets, and then like a recycling bin. I mean, I'm recycling it. So, and I used up almost that entire bucket, but I still have, I think, 2 or 3 buckets and that whole recycling bin still. So I should be good on kindling, honestly. But man, it sucks with the buckets because I can't like dump it in because the door's on the front, you know. So I had to do it like, well, one handful at a time. Throw it in there. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with the record. I'm honestly kind of leaning just doing it myself. I just don't know. I need to just pull the sessions up again and listen to them and just see like what needs done. And if I can't just like edit it, just go from there. But there were songs that I have on my phone that like I really wanted to write. You know what I mean? Like they're partially written or mostly written or something, and I wanted to like record them on this, on, you know, like officially. But I don't know. I mean, I'm really not leaning towards the collab thing. I mean, I don't know. I saw that video of like I've sort of had problems in the past writing with other people. Um, but I saw that video of like, you have to be careful of who you write with. It just makes me very weary. Um, I've just had people in the past that it's just like, we didn't do any sort of written agreement, so it was just kind of like, you know, I thought we were doing this, they thought that we were doing that, and you know, people get pissed off, or they think that you're trying to screw them over, or they try and screw you over, or they think you're trying to screw them over, so then they screw you over. It's just like, can we just talk about this and be adults? And it's like, even with people like you think you're cool with and you're friends with, and you do talk to each other like adults and whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like a huge issue, and then you don't talk anymore, and it's like, sheesh. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but I don't know. I don't know. But since I'm not sure, my game plan has kind of been, well, I'm just gonna make a bunch of stuff, a bunch of like short form content, and I'm just gonna put them out. And I made a bunch today because I was kind of just, I don't really pay attention to like my analytics too much. But I was looking at, I mean, I'll I don't know, like twice a month or something, I'll log into the back end of my YouTube or something, and or if I'm curious, I'll check like my Instagram or TikTok or something. But YouTube's probably my I don't really know. Point is, I logged into the back end of my YouTube last night, and it said like it showed me my top 15 pieces of content, and it was all like, do you know what song I was thinking about today, and one-handed musician pros and cons. Like every single video, and except for like at the very bottom, and I think just because I did them a while ago, but they were still like getting views, is like the ones that I did of like making the leaf blower attachment for my gutters and stuff. So I think for now, until I figure something out, instead of stressing about it, I'm just gonna make those pieces, because it's just been growing the channel. So if I can unlock that ad revenue again, it's just tough, because right now my biggest sources of income from doing music are my Patreon, my like streaming, like Spotify and stuff. Because even though that's the Patreon, I get paid every month as long as I make something. And my what you call it? The royalties I get from streaming. Those are delayed 3 months, not the Patreon, but the streaming stuff. It's delayed 3 months, but I still get paid every month. So, and it seems like it's kind of it seems like it's like extra work or kind of counterintuitive maybe, but when I make those little videos of like, you know what song I was thinking about today, or the one-handed musician thing videos, it's like I might get like all the videos I put out, I'll get a few hundred, anywhere from like 200 to 500 views, but those ones always get over 1,000. And let's say like, I might get 1,000 views, but then from each video I get a couple subscribers, and then those few people are like checking out my music on my channel. You know what I mean? And when that happens, it's like people will comment and they're just like, dude, this is awesome. This should have more views or whatever, like, I'm glad I found your channel, whatever the comment is. I was like, dude, thanks so much. I have a bunch more on my Spotify. Do you use Spotify or whatever? and just like kind of start the conversation and just like plant that seed. You know what I mean? So then it gets more plays on streaming, and then like maybe they add it to their playlists and stuff like that. It's just like a really long game. So, but yeah, Patreon, streaming, and I still sell like a merch item, like, you know, once or twice a month. So depending on what that is, I think I figured out the shirts. I need to log into that, because at first I was only making like $1, and it's like every shirt I've sold, I like get a little bit more. And the last few that I've sold, I get like, it depends on the shirt, but it's like somewhere between like $7 and $10, which is great because yeah, I mean that's a pretty good thing. So I should probably push my merch a little bit more somehow. Really not sure how. Trying to think of like little pieces of like videos to make or something to like, you know, kind of push those. Because if I'm making like, just to make the numbers easy, if I'm making $10 a shirt and I sold 10 shirts a month, like that shouldn't be that hard. But that's an extra $100. You know what I mean? Like that's perfect. On top of Patreon and streaming stuff, now we're, you know, making a few $100. Like that's pretty much all I need. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So right before I got hurt, I did a little side job. It didn't pay that much. It really wasn't that hard. And then I somehow picked up another side job. I don't know how this is gonna go. Someone I know is gonna help me. He has a gig that doesn't require him. It's like a really high paying gig, but it doesn't require him to like do it all the time. And he's in a similar situation where like he, you know, he's in the arts and he doesn't do a lot of he just doesn't he has a very low doesn't have a lot of expenses. So he needs a helper, and I'm gonna help him tomorrow, but he knows I'm injured. And I'm like, I mean, are you? Oh, by the way, it's my new friend. I didn't name him yet. I have some names. Someone suggested Ace because I got an Ace bandage. I was thinking like Hank or Seymour or Hal. I don't know, but my daughter likes it. She thinks it's hilarious. But yeah, he like desperately needs help tomorrow, so it's gonna be an all day thing because it's far away. Yeah, but that'll help. I'm hoping I'm just gonna do a bunch of those smaller videos all week and then just see what happens at the end of the week, I guess. I don't really know what else to do because it's like you have to give it time to what's going on here with my hair. There we go. You know. So today I made a bunch of videos, and then I actually made twice as many, so I have stuff to post tomorrow while I'm working. So hopefully I can just be like, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and just like I already have them ready in my draft, so I can just like hit post, and I already have them downloaded onto my phone, and so I can post them to other places. I usually make them with the Instagram editor, and then it lets you download it without a watermark. So then I save it to my drafts in Instagram. So then I can just go in there, post it, and I already have it downloaded on my phone. And then I can post it to YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. That's what I've been posting to the most. Yeah. So other than that, doing pretty good. I mean, it was a busy day today, but you know, it was fun to just make stuff again. Just takes me so much longer. Um, I I can kind of use this hand a little bit more. I've noticed because it used to like if I twisted it slightly or like tried to do something, I like wanted to bend my fingers and it would hurt, right? Because I got my three of my tendons repaired. Um, it doesn't really hurt. Like I can move my you probably guys probably can't see this, but I can so my index finger, this googly eyes. So see, I've always been able to move my index finger. My middle finger, I could always move it, but it hurt because I that's like connected to your ring finger somehow, and my ring finger and my pinky is what I have problems with. But see, that's my middle finger, and I feel like in my when I move my middle finger, hello, when I move my middle finger, I can it feels like tight. Like I feel like if I really move it, it's gonna hurt on my ring finger. But it's much better. And if I can like I don't even know if it's gonna show up. That's my ring finger, and it doesn't feel great, but it doesn't hurt. So I don't want to like overdo it, you know. And my pinky, yeah, it's not. You're not gonna. I can't even see it off camera. You can kind of see it moving. That's my pinky, and it feels the same as the ring finger. Like it's like I can't move it as much because I feel the tightness much earlier in the movement, if that makes sense. So um, I have trouble like making sandwiches, like spreading mayonnaise or peanut butter. Peanut butter is my arch nemesis right now. My daughter was just upset a little bit ago before I came down, and she wanted peanut butter crackers, and I was trying to help my wife, and she was brushing her hair, getting her ready for bed, and the kid was upset, and I was like, "What do you need?" And she's like, "Peanut butter crackers," and I'm like, my wife looked at me, and I'm like, these eyes kill me. She looked at me, and I'm just like, sorry, you know. So, um, but I've noticed like just getting my phone in the tripod. I used to like the base of it. I'd put like my elbow or my arm like this on it, and then I would use this hand to like shove it in there. And now, um, it's just a lot easier because if I twisted or moved slightly in the wrong way, it was just like that's not good. But yeah, so I'm pretty hopeful. I mean, the doctor and the surgeon, they were both, or I think there were multiple doctors and surgeons, but they were, first of all, they were incredibly surprised because I guess the one tendon that I severed, or I'm sorry, the artery that I severed, it's like there's two that go to your hand, but the one, of course, the one that I severed, it's like right next to your nerve, like the main nerve that goes to your hand and your fingers and stuff. I missed it. Like, it was very close. One of those situations. So I'm like super grateful for that. Because after both surgeries, especially after the second one, like all the doctors and all the surgeons, they're just like double, triple, quadruple checking. Like I think like 8 people asked me, like they came in, and they're like touching my pinky and my ring finger, like you can feel that, and I'm like, yep, and like they're pinching, like you can feel me pinching. I'm like, yeah. So like, okay, well there was no nerve damage. They didn't think they could fix the artery, and they could. But then the tendons, they're like, you know, it's not easy. It's, you know, once you heal up and we start physical therapy, it's going to be like 3 to 6 months. But, um, you know, we're hopeful, but it may not be 100%. But honestly, since, I mean, it's been just over a week. It happened not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. It's, what day is today? It's the 11th, well, the 13th. I think it's the 13th, Monday. So just over a week. It was a week on the 11th, Saturday, if I have my days right. I think. I don't know. Anyways, it's been 7, 8, 9 days. Let's do it that way. So, and I think having that much movement and that much less pain, in this short amount of time is probably good. So there's that. And like I've watched some videos and stuff like that about like similar situations and like the struggles of going through it and stuff. And it kind of made me like, oh man, like nervous, you know? But then I was thinking about when I was trying to play guitar the other night. I was trying to figure out a way to like make something to put on my hand or something. This thing is so big. Like it just gets in the way when I'm trying to play guitar, especially because it's like this shape. I can't like, I couldn't figure out a way to play. But I was imagining myself like holding a pick and like strumming, and I'm like, I don't see like moving my arm like that. Like I can kind of feel it makes that feel tight in my like forearm and whatever it is on top of your arm. I'm like, I don't like that feeling, but it's I can imagine myself doing it. It's like a pseudo feeling, like I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm hopeful for it. So the doctors probably have to say like, oh well, there's a chance it may not be 100%, but we'll see. I just want to see the scars because like I haven't seen my arm since Saturday, so like, and I didn't see the cut. You know what I mean? Like I got cut and I immediately tried to stop the bleeding, and yeah. So I just haven't seen it. It's been in this bandage the entire time. So, and I'm not supposed to take it off. And when I got out of surgery, because the cut was up here on my wrist, and when I got out of the second surgery, there was a pain down here for a few days. So I'm thinking they had to cut down here to do something for the tendons. And I was kind of looking because if something was irritating, and I can like when I look down there, it looks like there's stitches or something down there, like right about here. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious of the shape of the cut and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do that side job tomorrow and bring in some money and just keep making videos. I don't know. I need to. I don't know if any of you guys watching this vlog are patrons of mine that back me on Patreon, but because what I've always done in the past is like I just post a music video on there. So it used to be everybody that backed me, it was like per music video, and when I started it was just one a month. And then when I started doing more, I was like, you guys cool with this? And then most people were like, yeah, but you could set a limit for just like, if you wanted to back me for $5 a video, but didn't want to surpass $5, you could just set that cap. But Patreon has moved to just monthly, so it doesn't really matter how many pieces I put out. But I put out a bunch of short form stuff, so I need to get on there and ask everyone. But if you watch my vlogs and you back me on Patreon, I mean, maybe let me know. Like, is it okay if I just maybe like just post, because you on Patreon you have to post something on there and tell it like this is something I created, charge for this post. Like, are you guys cool with me just posting like one of my more popular short form videos or something? Or like, do you want like one of my joke songs, I have an idea for a video for it, because all I really need to do for that is mix it, and I need to it's about my manager, and I need to talk to my lawyer friend about it because I want to get I want the company I work for to see it, but I want to get as close to that line as possible without getting in trouble, so because that's the last thing I need. which part of me is just like, just don't do it. But he sucked. So, pretty awful human being. But man, yeah. If that's what you want to see, I can do that video. Or both. I honestly, every time I ask about something like that, like people don't care. They're just like, dude, we're just trying to support you. Like, don't worry about it or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, that's really all I got. So wife and I are doing good. I said we had an argument the other day, but we've been fine since then. We've gotten a lot better at communicating and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, thanks for the support, guys. I will see you tomorrow.